Howdy, boys. How are you? Um, I was. I have a shopping list going. This one is car. This one is infantry. like it's combat, and then on the backside there's like it's more combat, but it's weird shit. So let's start with the car. This is I wrote the car one down quickly, but it's nowhere near as complete as the other. For the car, I need the roof rack basket off of Amazon. Uh, I want some steel square pipe that's got holes in it. I don't know what that's called. I want to lift the car. That's $1,000. The steel square pipe shit is to make a longer roof rack thing. It's like I have a plan. But anyway, I want to lift the whole thing. That's $1,000. I found out. I want bigger tires or wheels, like just not ridiculous, but like I'm gonna lift it a little bit. I want it to like look right, otherwise it'll look stupid. And I want to get a spare tire when I do that. The mattress, I think I actually scored one from my mother. Maybe she said that when they moved into their house, there was a twin mattress there. So I'm gonna see what that is before I buy another one. I want a car radio and antenna, and when I say a car radio, I mean like a ham that goes in the car probably, and the antenna for it, Starlink, kind of in with the communication system, and the PA system in with the communication system. And like, why would you ever need that? There's enough situations where I could see it being handy to grab a thing and be able to scream at the people in front of you that yeah, we're going to do that. I don't know what the car mods are. Oh, I have gas cans on that list too. Um, that's several $1,000s of car shit that I'm going to have to buy over the next couple of years. And like some of that is that, like the lift, I'm not planning on lifting it anytime soon. I'm gonna drive it on its current tires and wheels for a while. And when it needs new tires and wheels and shit, I'm hoping to have saved up enough money to get bigger tires and wheels and the lift all at the same time. That's kind of where my head's at on that. The roof rack shit, that's all gonna happen soon. The mattress and the build out for that, that's gonna happen sooner rather than later. Car radio, antenna, Starlink. The car radio and Starlink are going to wait. The gas cans and PA system are going to happen sooner rather than later. PA system because it's like $100, and I assume that it's loud. I don't know. It's on Amazon. I'm going to do that and wire it in. And there's lights. I need to put lights on here. So headlights. So tired of pins that don't fucking right. I've been using this thing instead of a fucking space pen. I shouldn't. So I need headlight upgrades, and then I need extra lights. I found some extra lights on Amazon that are like $15, and I'm gonna get a few of those up on the fucking bumper around whatever else is up there, and I'm going to have it to where I can turn them on or off, and I'm gonna have two of them like headlights, and I'm gonna have a middle one that is pointed directly into the driver's fucking area of oncoming traffic. And I'm gonna have all of those on different switches so that I can do all that. Like I'm gonna wire a lot of shit in this car in crazy ass ways. I believe it or not, I actually know how to do a lot of shit. So I also want a light bar. I found one of those that was I think like 1,000 again. Sorry, not 1,000, 100. Trying to write and write and talk. Jesus Christ, I can't fucking do this. I'm also fucking high. So for what it's worth, we need lights. There's other lights and shit that we need to like. Fuck, I could go off on the interior of this, and we may on the backside. But that's enough of car shit. That's 5 minutes of this. The rest of this stuff is kind of the interesting stuff in my mind. Uh, this is the stuff that I feel I need. Some of this is repeats. Like I have first item on the list, Kelty Map 3500. I have two of those already. I want a third one. Um, Night vision mount, USMC boots. So I found USMC Rat combat boots that are, if you buy multiple pairs, for 3 pairs, it's $55 a pair with $30 shipping. So I'm going to buy 3 pairs of those. They look good. I'm hoping that I like them. They have Marine Corps emblems on them. And if I don't like them, I'll just tuck them away or give them to my nephews or some shit. Do something with them. But like, by the looks of them alone and the fact that the Marines bought them, like I'm taking a gamble that I'm going to like them. And my thing is basically I want an improved jungle boot. That's kind of what it looks like I'm buying for at $56 a pair. I need multiple pairs of those. I was looking for one pair of boots, and was I was at the point where like a pair of Altamas was $200. So I went looking for, okay, what's surplus, and I found these things surplus, and it's $80 or $75 to buy one pair of boots, or it's $56 a pair with $30 shipping. So like they've got me. They got me with the fucking deal. And my thing is, I think I'm really gonna like these boots, and I need boots for a lifetime. These are lifetime do anything boots. I have winter boots that'll last the rest of my life, pretty much for Oklahoma anyway. And then I have hiking boots that I don't really like. These will do what I need. I have the hiking boots in case I need them or whatever. But like in reality, I could use a new pair of Merrells. That's what I was going to buy. I'm going to buy these instead and gamble on it. And maybe I'm going to have to put insoles in these, so maybe that's more money. But fuck it, a pair of Merrells is like 130, $150. That's my preferred hiking boot. If you wanted to know, if you're gonna buy footwear for the outdoors, I like Merrell. I've been buying Merrell since college. In high school, I bought Columbia, and I still have the Columbia boots that I bought in high school. I mean, but they're winter boots. The summer boots, being of a lighter construction than leather, they don't last as long, and they get worn more often. My winter boots are for when it snows here, basically, and it almost never does that. And I used to use them going hunting because, like, that time of the year, wet and cold, you're out that long. Those boots are nice. So I own those, have those. Don't see a reason to buy anything else besides those. However, I do need, you know, kind of do everything boots, and I think that these could be good do everything boots. So I'm gonna get those. Armor. I have this high on my priority list. I want to get. I decided I have been toying with the idea of getting an AR 500, like the smallest plate they make, for a while as like a heart protector, and it was $100 to get that set with a carrier. Now it's 135. So I'm gonna save up some money and wait for that to go on sale again, I think, and then I'm gonna get armor. Hopefully, I don't get a visit from the FBI again. Although the last time they were here, they concluded I wasn't a terrorist. So I have overalls on my list. I'm gonna get 2 pairs of Coyote Coyote Brown overalls from Roundhouse, and I keep going back and forth on camo, and I'm gonna probably camo at least one set of those if I can figure out a way to do it other than spray paint. If I can't come up with anything other than spray paint, I'm probably just gonna rock Coyote tan ones until the world ends. I don't know. Uh, but my thought on that is basically, uh, blacksmithing and whatever. I really, really like overalls. They fucking are amazing to do anything in that's in the heat or fucking whatever. And you get a pocket of shit here that's nice, and all the rest of your pockets are nice. They're well set up clothing for combat. That's what I'm buying here. I'm kind of this is my list of shit to equip myself and my car with for the end of the world. I'm picking overalls. I do want a belt. Uh, that seems counterintuitive or whatever, but I have a little rope belts. I have this one in red that I'm wearing now. I want a slightly different one in black so that I can wear a pistol. I want to wear the what's it called? The car and the little flap holster on the rope belt. Um, Probably on the outside of the overalls. I mean, I could keep that in a bag or whatever. I've rocked a belt on the outside of overalls like that before. It works. And if the only thing that's going to be on it is a fucking car and a flap holster, I'm cool with it. And I'm also cool with that kind of a belt for that. Uh, I have chest rig on here. The question mark. I have my tried and true Chicom. I don't know that I want to replace that, but I might. Gas mask and filters. I want a Polish gas mask and filters. I have a kids one already with a couple of filters. I'm gonna get an adult with more filters. Uh, I want the Geisley bayonet lug. This is the next thing I'm getting more than likely. I want an extra bayonet because once I have that bayonet lug, I'll have two guns that can take bayonets. Snowshoes because I don't have snowshoes, and that seems like a weird choice again. But like, what if we have a really bad winter? What if that's when they choose to invade? Whatever. Like, I know that's a weird place to be, but like, I have a snow cape and fucking ice walkers, and I saved a couple of pairs of my 600-pound overalls because you can put them on over your entire kit, and it adds a layer of shit. I have a bag over there for Arctic warfare. The snowshoes go in there. Heavy gloves, same bag. Bandolier. I want a bunch of bandoliers. I'm gonna get the woodland camo ones. PVS 7, $2,000. I'm gonna do a lot of shit to get that. We have yet to do the unspeakable things that I'm going to have to do to get that, but most of it involves garage sailing old toys, I think, and modifying open L's, and probably being a street walking hooker. Uh, Crimson Trace Railmaster and a rail to put on it. I want this for both of my AR-15s and the Flex Raider. And the reason is I need lasers on them that can be seen by the fucking night vision. And if I can get a fucking cheap ass red vis laser that does both dual duty for me and my end use and shit, I'm okay with that. I honestly, I think IR lasers for a civilian are fucking useless, and my opinion on that is formed basically by I had them, and I had the night vision, and I went up and I set them, I turned them on and set them up in places and went and looked. They're useless. To anything you'd ever really be doing, they're useless. For everything that IR laser is good at, like I'm not saying that they aren't good at CQB. They are, but the red laser's damn near as good, and it's $100 something. Okay, like propensity of me to use night vision in close quarters, low. Propensity of me to use night vision at night, kind of in a neighborhood to semi-rural, intermediate distances with a red dot in front of it, high, very high. That is, in a nutshell, the Flux Raider. That bitch is made to work with the night vision. You know, like I'm kind of dead set serious on some of this shit that, like, I don't know. Not everything that you see the tactical community do is very tactical. They are cosplaying bros. So, last on the list of this shit is it's four things actually. I have 4 cases of HDRs, which are the humanitarian daily rations. They're cheap. And 2 cases of the MREs because they're more expensive, but they are better. And t-shirts, I want to get like a half a dozen camo t-shirts. I do the tiger stripe ones. I do the tiger stripe ones because I like tiger stripes. It doesn't matter. They're $15. The multicam ones don't come in as many sizes and are fucking $30 or $25. See my logic? Crazy like a fox. And then last, shorts and panties. So I wear panties. I'm a girl. I need underwear, and in that with that would be socks. I need to put socks. I have a bunch of socks, but like I could use more socks. Socks. So the shorts, though, like for the inside of the overalls kind of hang off you a little bit. I want a pair of fucking shorts. I'm gonna get some sexy shorts from Torrid and wear those on the inside of the overalls. Socks. It depends on where you're going, what you're doing. I'm probably just going to buy regular socks. I'm probably going to also buy 2 or 3 pairs of good heavy wool socks just in case for the winter kit. Let's add that. Where do we want to add that? I'm running out of places to write this shit. Wool socks. It's a lot of shit to buy. Like, I hate. Oh, I forgot about the other side still, too. This is the shit that it doesn't really go with that other shit, but it does. And you'll see. Water filter, canteen pouches, more canteen cups, maybe even more canteens, rifle mags, pistol mags, Sunto compasses, radios, an AR-15 BCG, AR trigger, AR buffer, AR barrel, spray paint. So some of that is have to buy. Some of it would be nice. That's kind of both of these lists. There's some of this that doesn't need to be done at all. There's some of it that, like, I have 3 underlines under. I need to do the boots. I need to do the HDRs and the MREs. Like, those are priority. The bayonet lug and armor for me are priority. The bayonet lug is priority because it's kind of expensive and hard to get, and I have the money to do it now. And, like, we're living in uncertain times. If you have the money to buy the thing that you want, get it. Is it the most important thing on this list? In some ways, I like fucking having a bayonet on my rifle. And my thought with the bandoliers and the second bayonet is I have 2 rifles now. I might develop a full set of kit for the second rifle, or I might just have a few bandoliers and a fucking bayonet with that gun. And that's like, here's your shit. You get a rifle with a bayonet on it and some bandoliers. Good luck. I could foresee having that as a pass-off thing, considering you can only shoot 1 rifle at a time, really. Or at least maybe somewhere stash that. That might be a burial gun. If I was going to bury a gun, the gun I would bury would be an AR-15 that can take a bayonet with its bayonet and then mags of ammo in bandoliers in particular. And the reason I say in bandoliers is because they are cheap. The 3 well, there are actually 6 USGI mag or 3P mag bandoliers that you can get. Desert Tan or fucking Multicam or Woodland, any of them. They're made of really heavy duty nylon. The snaps are bulletproof. They're a military item. They knew what they were doing when they made those. They're relatively affordable, and it allows you to have 3P mags with the gun. So I would probably get 2 of those and a bayonet and put those with the gun. And that's like the most ghetto ass ghetto combat kit, right? Like you have a secondary weapon in the bayonet. And it's like a fighting knife that you can put on the end of your gun. Like it's got many advantages. I know Carl and Ian and everybody else talk shit about the bayonet. In any realistic situation that I can think of, uh, for shit hits the fan or whatever, I would never not want to have a bayonet. Simply for the fact that like going through structures and shit, it's not, oh, they're gonna grab my bayonet. Whatever. Like that's the thing I've heard about that is no, it's someone might jump you from the side, and having the bayonet on means that you just stab them the fuck to death. Like this is one of those, just because you don't know how to use a fucking bayonet doesn't mean that like no one should have one. That's my opinion of Carl and Ian in range and all that shit. They don't know how to use one. They don't have the real world shit to fucking appreciate its use, I guess maybe. And yes, in a modern conflict like our war in Afghanistan, no, you don't need one. But what kind of modern conflicts are on the table now? Who might we be fighting? Think about it. Chinese, the Russians. Why might you need a bayonet when fighting them? I'm not going to fully explain that to you, but what I am going to tell you about is you know, there's something that you can go research yourself, basically, that will explain this to you. The Battle of the Chosin Reservoir was a real thing that really happened to the Marine Corps. It is why they still want bayonets on their guns. It's why my grandfather was nuts about them. It's why I like them. I like them because my grandpa did. Basically, I got to hold an M1 with a bayonet on it at a gun show once, and it made an impression. I can't see why you wouldn't want the ability to attach a fucking knife to the end of your gun. I'm not saying that like you should make decisions about your gun that are going to hinder its total capabilities, but that's not what this is doing. Especially not the way that I would integrate a bayonet on the AR is the way Stoner did. I would just cut down the fucking A-frame off of that now and put a rail out right to the edge of where the fucking bayonet lug is. Because then you get the pinned on gas block and all the benefits of that shit. And you get a bayonet lug. Problem solved. And as far as like the rail not going all the way out, it goes as far out as you need it to go. How like that fucking bayonet lugs, how far out there? Like how far do you really need to put your hand? I get it. Chris Costa, going to Japan and shit. Not my thing. I have my space blaster set up where you can do that, activating the light. I'm not saying don't know how to do that or whatever. It's just it's not how I shoot. And most of how I shoot is based on doing the same thing a lot. Like there's a difference between accuracy and precision, right? Precision means you're doing the same thing every time. You may not be hitting a target, but you're doing the same thing every time. Once you establish that, then we work on accuracy. Precision is key. Precision is hard. You do the same thing every time. Accuracy is a matter of adjusting your sights. And like this is a fundamental thing about like shooting that people don't get, I think, is that you don't just blast a bunch and adjust the sights and oh there you go. No. Like I would shoot a pretty good group and adjust and shoot a pretty good group and adjust, kind of play with it, play around with it. But if you're really new to shooting, I wouldn't even bother with that. I would just shoot the fucking gun for groups. Once you're doing that and are shooting consistent groups, then I would worry about moving the group to where the fucking center of the target is. And the reason that I say this is basically sight alignment is key, right? And not hitting the center of the target, not even worrying about that, you are worrying about the your relationship to the rifle, the sight's relationship to you, and your combination's relationship to the target. Anyway, that's the shit that you should be worried about while shooting, and the rest is all having a zeroed rifle. Now, there is Kentucky windage, but like that is a thing that you would add to this. Like first you learn how to shoot under ideal conditions, whatever, right? Like then we add in, okay, now you're in the field, you don't have time to make an adjustment. You just saw the dirt pop 4 feet to the right of where you're trying to hit. What you gonna do? That shit seems obvious to me, right? Just fucking move it over. Like, no, it's a fine art as to calling your own shots through a scope like that. That's difficult. That's difficult for the most trained people on earth. But how I zero my shit usually is something kind of like that because like I think that makes you better at that. Like I don't usually bring a spotting scope when I zero. I try to shoot with a dirt backdrop and I walk it into where it's on paper if it's not on paper. If it's on paper, I just shoot a group, mark it off, adjust, shoot a group, mark it off, adjust, that kind of shit. Anyway, I'm just talking about shit that doesn't matter now, really. Zeroing rifles. Um, the MREs and HDRs might be a waste of money at this point, but at the same time, I'd kind of like to add to my preps and shit, and that's some stuff that it makes sense to me to have some of it, and especially the HDRs and shit. They're cheap. They're real cheap. It's $50 for a case of those. So the MREs I have on my list is like $400. I don't want to spend that, but I'm probably going to. I don't even know what all this adds up to. The Kelty Map 3500 is like $130 backpack now. Those USMC boots and shoes are probably going to be 180, 190. Yeah, it's a lot of fucking money. And basically, where I'm at in life, what I'm choosing to do is I could go out and have fun right now and not get this shit, or I can get this shit. And like honestly, I wasn't really that worried about combat preps. Like that was not at all what I was worried about until basically shit started to go sideways pretty severely in the last year or so since Biden took office. Between us pulling out of Afghanistan, the shit going on in Ukraine, the shit going on in Taiwan, the shit going on in Iran, the infiltrators coming across our southern border like crazy, like I think there's a legit possibility that we might need militia forces to repel some sort of thing here. I don't know what's going to go on exactly. Maybe nothing happens here. But at this point, with the way the world is, I think we're going to be fighting on our southern border while also trying to help allies around the world. Europe is out of ammunition because they sent it all to Ukraine. That's hilarious to me. It's hilarious to me because I grew up shooting up Germany's fucking stockpile of 308. I have on my prayer beads, wherever they are, they're in a bag in the other room. There's a 308 case. I put that on there because it was in my cartridge collection, as it was the German fucking surplus 308 shit that my grandpa bought a shit ton of when I was in high school, and we just shot a bunch of it. Um, I took that out of that collection, pulled the bullet, dumped the powder, popped the primer in that FAL, and drilled out the primer and made it a bead. I did that because like I shot up so much of that German fucking shit, and now Germany's like, we're out of ammo. What are we going to do? You're welcome. Hope you die at the hands of fucking Russians, you Nazi bastards. We never should have saved them. At the end of World War II, we should have stopped at the French border and let the fucking Soviets have them. They're scum. They've always kind of been scum. The whole fascist dictatorship thing made them scummier. And the peace afterwards and this like bitter resentment. Like go watch the Southlands in the new Lord of the Rings thing and get that like there's a lot of Germans that feel like some of those Southlanders. They feel that way about the American occupation that is still ongoing to some extent. We have more bases in fucking Germany than you can shake a stick at. And we're all buddy buddy with them for now. For now. This is a key phrase in all of this, and this is why fucking combat preps. The world is changing at a rapid pace. There are things going on in Germany and England and Italy and countries that you wouldn't have ever thought they'd happen in. Well, those are small things compared to what's bubbling here. We're simmering up to a boiling point here in America. I don't know how that ends, but my preps now for this shit is I have my family taken care of to some extent, food wise. Um, Beyond that, it would be relocating old people and shit, and that's its own chestnut. So what I'm doing to prepare for the Chinese invasion at this point is my minivan is an ambulance for the militia or whatever, I guess. Like that's I was already planning on making it a camper van kind of thing, and like it would my in the back of my head was once you have a bed in the back of it and it's a kind of cam mode van that can go anywhere, it'd make a decent ambulance because you get it in and out of places and take out casualties. And I think that's the most useful thing that that thing could do. There's other things it could do, and especially like with those sliding doors, it could like if you didn't put the bed in it, especially, you could make it kind of a cool fucking thing. Pick the side that you're gonna have as the gunner, and leave one of the captain's chairs in it, and have the other side be infill, exfil for fucking people, and keep the bench seat in the back. You have two people there, and you have another two people hanging out in the little kind of area there. You have another two people hanging out on the outside of the fucking van, and have the gunner with something in the chair on the other side as like You pull up and they're blasting and shit, and then they're dumping people out the other side. I think the minivan has potential. And like this is my thing with it is basically that it's a cool thing. It has cool Vietnam helicopter doors on the side. Why doesn't anyone else like that but me? I guess. I'm gonna force you to like the minivan. We'll see you guys later. I hope this shopping list has made someone think of something that they need. That's kind of my thought with listing this shit out is this is the stuff that I have to buy. And it's a long but distinguished list. And like some things are fucking no problem. Like the things that I'm trying to figure out where the money comes from are the lift, bigger tires and wheels, and the PVS 7. Everything else I've got in the bag. PVS 7 I could have in the bag, but it would take a while, basically. $2,000 is a lot of money. And I kind of figure for the wheels and tires and lift and shit, that's probably 2 or 3 grand for all that shit. So in reality, all the major items are like 5,000. And the reason that my list of big items is so short is because I already fucking spent 28 grand. Like a whole shitload of electronic shit to go in there, I've already got. I've got a fridge. I've got the power system. I've got the fucking solar panel. I do want a second power system. Maybe I should put that on that list. Go back to spitballing about the car. So, what do we want to call that? Solar generator. Second solar gen. My thought with that is basically I want one dedicated to the fridge and have one to play with and shit. And that way, I want them both to be capable of powering the fridge for up to a couple days. The one I have could power the fridge for probably a little over a week, 10 days. The one I want to get would only do like 2 or 3 days, but I'm not going to be using it for the fridge. I'm kind of gonna. I want to wire in a system to where like the roof solar charges everything, and then you can just use whatever. And the big blue eddy I'm gonna put in the trunk with the fucking fridge. Get a small blue eddy and put it probably where I'm gonna put my laptop, wherever that ends up being. Well, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys later.